Hi folks, welcome to the channel. Before we begin, a word of warning. If you're faint of heart, you might want to skip this one. Today, we're going to share a story about a case of mass burial. This is a story about 400 to 500 souls, according to allegations, who have been waiting for justice for more than 40 years. On the 4th of July, 2025, a man, around 50 years old, arrived at a police station in Dharmasthala. He was carrying a letter and a box. The officer on duty believed it was just another routine complaint, but as he began to read the letter, his face began to change. His brows furrowed, his hands started to tremble, and his eyes froze on the page. In a stunned silence, he checked the contents of the box. His reaction was so profound that it brought every other officer in the station to a standstill. They were all stunned. Because that letter, it detailed the grim secrets of what had allegedly been happening in Dharmasthala for years. And the box? It contained the physical evidence of those terrifying incidents. The letter was signed by a man named Mr. X, who wrote that he worked as a sanitation worker in Dharmasthala from 1995 to 2014. His duty was to clean the area near the Netravathi River. Chapter 1: The Confession. Dharmasthala, for a long time, was known as a purely religious and spiritual place. A town built along the sacred Netravathi River in Karnataka, India. But the administration of Dharmasthala and those in power were allegedly not aligned with the very spiritual and devotional values that the people who served there believed in. I was there to do the sanitation work, but my job soon expanded into a far more sinister role. For 19 years, I was coerced into a horrifying task: the clandestine burial and burning of hundreds of human bodies. A significant 100 of these victims were women and young girls, many of whom bore signs of extreme violence, including sexual assault, strangulation, and acid attacks. I've been haunted by the specific incidents I remember, including a young schoolgirl found dead near a petrol bunk. She was just 12 to 15 years old, still wearing her school shirt, but her skirt and undergarments were gone. I was forced to bury her body along with her school bag. Another was a 20-year-old woman whose face had been severely burned with acid. I was forced to burn her body to destroy the evidence. I lived in constant fear, regularly receiving death threats from my supervisors to keep silent. But my decision to finally come forward was driven by a powerful breaking point. A minor girl in my own family was allegedly sexually assaulted by a person connected to my supervisors. This horrifying incident forced me to flee Dharmasthala in 2014, and ultimately to break my silence and seek justice for all the victims whose bodies I was forced to bury. Chapter 2: The Allegations. In this case, while there's been much speculation among the public, it's crucial to remember that some of these claims are directly evidenced by family members who have come forward with their own heart-wrenching accounts. Case number 1, 1979, Vedavalli. In 1979, the case of a schoolteacher named Vedavalli sent a chilling message. She possessed the qualifications to become a headmistress, but the Dharmasthala administration allegedly supported another person for the post. Vedavalli courageously took her fight to court and won the case, legally securing her promotion. However, Tragically, soon after this victory, she was found burnt alive in her bathroom, an incident that many believe was linked to the influential forces who opposed her legal triumph. This became an early, disturbing incident in the shadows. Case number 2, 1987, Padmalata. A more well-documented and profoundly tragic instance occurred in 1987 involving a 17-year-old girl named Padmalata. She was returning from her school, just about 500 meters from her home, and even met a relative on her way. But Padmalata never reached home that evening. Due to heavy rain in Dharmasthala, her family's initial search was hampered, but they continued relentlessly the next morning. Sadly, she was found dead near the Netravathi River, bearing clear traces of sexual assault. This horrific act was widely speculated to be a brutal punishment for her father's political stand, becoming an early and chilling sign of the darkness that would soon envelop the community. Case number 3, 2004, Ananya Bhat. Among the most heartbreaking stories demanding justice is that of Ananya Bhat, a bright medical student who visited Dharmasthala for a college tour with her friends. After a day of shopping, Ananya expressed her wish to visit the temple, but she never returned. Two days later, her friends, growing increasingly worried, called her mother. Ananya's mother, a dedicated employee of the CBI, immediately contacted the hostel, where staff confirmed her daughter had been missing for 2 days. Despite traveling all the way from Kolkata, a journey of 2 days, she faced inappropriate treatment when she tried to file a complaint at the local police station. Her visits to the temple, where her daughter was last seen, also met with uncooperative responses. Undeterred, Ananya's mother began her own investigation, questioning locals and showing them her daughter's photo. Some came forward, confirming they had seen Ananya inside the temple, talking with certain temple associates, who then asked her to accompany them. When the distraught mother confronted these same individuals from the temple, they initially claimed to know her daughter's whereabouts. But while traveling with them, they suddenly attacked her, kicking her and brutally warning her never to return or inquire about her daughter again. The assault was so severe that Ananya's mother fell into a coma, lasting 3 agonizing months. She awoke in Bangalore, with no memory of how she got there. Upon returning to her hometown, the painful memories were so overwhelming that she burned her daughter's photo, a desperate act stemming from unbearable grief. Ananya Bhat's case stands as a stark reminder of the long-standing quest for truth in Dharmasthala. Case number 4, 2012, Narayan and Yamuna. The murders of siblings Narayan and Yamuna. They were reportedly killed after resisting immense pressure to vacate their land, which was allegedly sought for a commercial building. Their house was subsequently demolished. Case number 5, 2012, Soujanya. The year 2012 brought another harrowing case to the forefront in Dharmasthala, the tragic story of Soujanya. She was just 17 years old. A promising college student at Sri Dharmasthala Manjunatheswara College. On October 9th, 2012, Soujanya simply vanished. Her disappearance sent ripples of fear through the community, and her body was tragically discovered the very next day. It was found in a dense, forested area near the Netravathi River, close to a local hospital. The scene was horrific. Her hands were bound, her clothes torn, and there were clear signs of a brutal rape and strangulation. The local police launched an investigation, which was later taken over by the Criminal Investigation Department, the CID. A man named Santhosh Rao was arrested and charged with the crime. However, the legal journey for Soujanya's family would be anything but straightforward. Despite multiple investigations, including one by the Central Bureau of Investigation, the CBI, Santhosh Rao was ultimately acquitted by a CBI special court on June 16, 2023. The reason? A lack of evidence. The court's verdict starkly highlighted what it called significant lapses and flaws in the initial stages of the investigation and evidence collection. It even went as far as to suggest action against the erring officials. But for Soujanya's family, this acquittal was a devastating blow, not a resolution. Her mother, Kusumavati, and her late father, Shandapa Gowda, who tirelessly fought for justice until his passing in early 2025, always maintained that Santhosh Rao was wrongfully implicated. They, along with numerous activists, have continually alleged a vast cover-up, pointing fingers at powerful individuals and accusing the police of manipulating evidence and tampering with crucial reports. The Soujanya case remains a burning issue in Karnataka. It has fueled widespread protests and persistent demands for a fresh investigation by a special investigation team. So folks, the story doesn't end here. We're just getting started. This is truly a complex case, and there's much more to uncover. We've actually stopped here for part 2. To make sure you don't miss the next thrilling installment, be sure to hit that subscribe button. To make sure you don't miss the next thrilling installment, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you enjoyed today's deep dive, a like would be greatly appreciated. We'll see you in part 2.